Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You know, I often wonder, why did I ever get into teaching students how to chainsaw carve? Well, it's because they're a lot of fun. In this episode, Dusty Girl is coming all the way from Texas, but that's not stopping her, and it certainly isn't going to stop me. She is a hungry mind. She's like a sponge. So join us, and we'll see exactly how Dusty does. My name is Jeff Mohr. I'm the Northwoods Carver, and thanks for seeing what we saw. Welcome everybody back to another episode of whatever this is. We have a student comes all the way from Texas, and where's it from? Pflugerville. So she comes all the way from Pflugerville, Texas on American Airlines and landed in Madison, and I went to get her, brought her back, and this is like day 3. We've been going over a bunch of stuff prior to coming up here in the shop, and so she's already got quite She's already got quite a list of accomplishments that she's done in other fields as well as in this field. Okay, everyone, I'd like to introduce you to Dusty Girl Carver. That was freaking fast.
Okay.
That was okay. No, you're good. You're good. Okay.
Okay. It's fun. So much fun.
Yeah. So stay tuned. What could it hurt? Like, you're here this far, hopefully.
Right.
So, I mean, there's like the 3 of yous. Well, no, there's 2, because now you're here, so that's 2 other people watching. We're gonna continue on with Shadow and Light, and we're gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff with body mechanics, and we might eat some food going
Yes,
on.
because when you come here, you eat. You don't starve.
No. Oh, by the way, there might be a couple other things going on, so if you need to like go to the bathroom or get a refreshing drink, something like out of the cooler or out of the refrigerator, or if you need to run to the store, just press pause. You don't need to speed through, just press pause. Yeah. So also, if you don't mind, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Smash that notification bell. Okay, so we're with Dusty Kosmak. Dusty Kosmak from Texas. What town are you from?
Austin.
Austin proper, or like?
The outskirts,
Pflugerville. And that's how far from Austin?
Oh, that's 20 minutes from downtown.
20 minutes from downtown. All of your shopping needs are met downtown. Do they have bourbon there?
Oh, plenty.
Okay, cool. I'll have to go there. So anyways, you've come all this way to see me and to learn things. So I was curious to see if you had a list of like to do things while you're here, or questions that you want to ask. And then also, I just want you to kind of tell everybody who you are, what you do, and why the hell are you here? What possessed you to get on a plane and fly all the way to Wisconsin?
I'm here because you're going to teach me how to connect the dots.
Oh, okay, that I can do.
I want to understand lighting and shadows that you talk about all the time.
Sure.
I want to understand how to read a chain. By the way, I had 6 or 7 chains that I was bringing you, and they got confiscated at TSA, which was really actually comical.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But, so that's important. And I also, I want to understand how to do textures.
Okay, different textures, and so body mechanics is big as well.
Yes, body mechanics.
Especially at the advanced age that we're at.
Right.
You need to have good body mechanics if you want to continue to do this and be somewhat physically healthy, joint wise and muscle wise. You want to stay
away from the sugar and drink more bourbon.
That's right. Stay away. Stay away from only everything bad except for bourbon. So we're gonna. You arrived yesterday at about 10:30.
Yes.
11:30 something.
Yes.
It was a long time ago.
It sure was. I got up at 2:30 in the morning, so by the time I got here at 10 o'clock, I was
Yeah. By 5 o'clock, you were. You were speaking in tongues, and you were like eyes rolled behind her head, and just
not
kinda,
really, but really. Yeah, I was that. Y'all know that he is a bourbon aficionado, so I learned quite a bit while I was sampling
the goods. And you were kind enough to bring me a bourbon from Texas, which was pretty cool.
From Austin, actually.
Yes, from Austin, and it was called. What was it called?
Austin.
Oh. Oh, it's right there, right?
Still Austin.
Still Austin, and it's a barrel. It's actually a store pick. Looks like Twin Liquors store pick, and it's pretty dang good. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out to Twin Liquors all the way out in Austin, Texas. So you have a hearty hi-de-ho from me. Whatever that means. All right, let's take a listen.
And a couple of Alka-Seltzers.
Yeah, and a couple of Alka-Seltzers. All right, so all that being said, let's get back down to business. So you're an aspiring chainsaw artist, correct?
Correct.
And what was your life like before you discovered sawdust?
Well, it was creative for sure, but in just a different industry.
Oh. Okay, one that didn't include sawdust.
No, not at all.
What was it? Dare I pry?
I was in the beauty industry for 45 years.
And you never heard of me? Just kidding. No, go ahead. Finish your story. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, beauty industry for 45 years, and I semi-retired to grow my, I say woodworking business because I kind of messed around with it all, but yeah.
Cool.
That's what I want to do.
So, and you've been tinkering for?
About 7 years. I started out as a power carver and turning, and then I wanted to do bigger things.
By power carving, you mean with
Arbor Tech and
Arbor
all
Tech,
of their specialty carving tools.
Because technically, this is still power carving, I guess.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Super duper power. So you got now chainsaws. How many chainsaws do you have?
Now I have 5, but I still don't have one of those big old 90 cc's. I want a big one.
Yeah, you need something a little bit bigger than what you're currently toting around with you. You need something with some girth, some meat.
Well, everything's bigger
muscle.
in Texas anyway.
Yes, everything bigger in Texas. So what we're gonna do is, I wanted to ask you a few more questions, but then I want you to ask me a few questions so that maybe we can unconfuse those people that are watching this video. Yeah, so what is like your Texas, right? So what do you got for wood there that you're
Oak,
scratching on? Oak,
pecan, mesquite.
Those are woods I put in my smoker.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I've had some ash. I've had that's hard. I've had I don't really get many choices because when you're a wood scavenger, you get whatever's given to you.
And you don't really have trees out by you, do you?
Yeah, I do. We have big trees.
Big.
Yep.
And because it's Texas, they're slow growing.
Yeah. Well, we had Snowmageddon 2 years or 3 years ago, and we had a bad ice storm last year. So all of these huge 150-year-old oak trees are going down, and it's made it, a busy time for carving.
A lucrative, well, I wouldn't say lucrative, but like you got an influx of available wood.
Yeah, my pile is growing.
That's good. That's good. But is it good wood? Because I know a lot of times, just because something comes down in a storm, a lot of times it's not the best. Because it has either wind shake or it came down for a reason.
Oak cracks so bad, and all the oak I have, every single bit of it is just split and wide open all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got all this wood. I don't know what to do with it now.
Well, like I said, you could just buy a smoker.
Yeah, I'm going
and
to.
then make some wood chips out of it or something. No, I mean, like here we have like a lot of different species. They're easier on the saws and easier on your brain.
Yeah, we don't get white pine.
No, I suppose not. Not down there. Yellow pine maybe?
Yep, yellow pine.
Something. I haven't been in that neck of the woods. I have been up in the Panhandle hunting. There's lots of trees there, but I guess not as many as. Well, I suppose it depends. Like if there's like a river nearby or something, I guess trees grow big.
We get live oaks near the water.
Anyways, going. So you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do.
Anything prepared?
Not really
No prepared notes.
No, okay. I do want to know and understand the differences between your carving bars and then the different sizes that go up.
Sure. Oh, the different. I mean,
tips.
As far as for like my little battery stuff, or just right on through the gas sauce?
What is a toonie in comparison to a dime tip?
Okay, so a toonie. Well, as you know, Canon is a Canadian company. Maybe you didn't know that, but it's a Canadian company, and Canadians have a different dollar, like money. So like we have a dime, and they have something else. I don't know what it is. Like, and then they have like a toonie is, I believe it's a $5 coin. And it's about that. It's the same size as the tip of the toonie tip. Mm-hmm. So they have we have like the dime and the quarter tip. They have the Well, over there they have loonies and toonies. That's their money, right? And so I guess it's. I could be wrong. It could be a $10 thing. I don't know, but it's a form of currency. It's a coin, and it's about the same size as the toonie head.
So if we were to equate that in inches. What are we going from? A dime is what? A half inch?
I don't know. Well, it turns out that a dime on a dime, it's somewhere. I think most dime tips that you'll see are just actually they're a little bigger than a dime, not smaller.
I agree.
Samuras, I think, are the only ones that are actually smaller. But dimes are pretty small. And then you have the quarter tip, which is a little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. And I think that's even bigger than the quarter. But I think it's the inside, the circumference or whatever on the inside of the bar, not so much the outside. That could be but you're talking maybe a 2.5 inch. I don't know what a toonie is. I guess I never measured one. I only have one of them in my arsenal. So I think I have a 20-inch toonie.
And so when is it, when you're doing detail work, you're doing it with a dime? But
yes, and smaller than a dime actually as well with my battery saws.
Okay.
So I try to stay away from toonies because steel is making roller tips that are roughly the same size, and I just prefer to have a roller tip.
Mm-hmm. So bar matters, right? You
of course. It's everything.
I mean, there's so many options out there. You got a Forester from Bailey's, and which they say that you can run a dime tip on their Forester bar. And it's like, I didn't find that to be the same quality as the Canon.
Yeah, they're all different. Like, so I prefer, like, the only ones that I really run, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I love the Samura bars. Sugi's a good bar too, but I prefer Samura.
And why?
Just they're made out of a really good steel, and they can take the abuse that and I have multiple saws, so every saw has some of them are duplicate, some of them are triplicate, because when you become more of a professional, you'll have different tools, right?
I understand.
A lot of people have a lot of carvers have like their the same thing with their burr bits on their die grinders. They'll have 10 or 15 die grinders with different burr bits. They're not going to keep interchanging.
Oh, because they don't like to change. Yeah.
I fear change. So I just...
Change is good.
Whatever. So I just...
Go change your clothes.
That, right? Go change your clothes. Never. I want to make it clear that, you need to have different bars for different setups. And like carving bars, there's... you can get a 6-inch dime tip. You can get the Samurai Legends, are even tinier. They're about the circumference of your pinky, and I have them different lengths and on a different powered saw. So like I think my Samurai Legends are on my well, it used to be a 120 and 140, but now they call them the 60 and 70C. But I always put my 6-incher on a 120, and I put the 8 or the 9 and the 12 inchers on the 140s.
It's I've had to create this ridiculous legend to understand. I'm running echoes and to know what size bars that you can interchange, and it can get confusing. I only have one carving saw, the 2511P, and it has a dime tip on it, and that's the only one that I have for detail work.
Okay, yeah. Well, you'll go up there, and when we finally start cutting, you'll be able to play around with some of these little battery saws, and you'll see with great delight how wonderful they are for doing detail. And you can work indoors with them.
That is my next purchase, but what I really want to know is, let's talk about the clown saws out of China. What are your thoughts on that?
Clown saws?
The ones that are replicating.
Oh.
They call them clown saws.
Never heard of that.
Big old 90cc,
for
$249. And
I've seen guys buy. One of my students, Bill, bought one. And I believe it's the same as the 660.
660, exactly.
Something like 661 or whatever. And it's a blue saw. I don't know what the name of it is. But he said for the money, it's fine.
That's the one I'm talking about.
It's cheap. I just wouldn't want to... I mean, I guess their parts are compatible with steel parts.
I think it's a stigma thing attached to
I
it.
think it's the build quality is so subpar to a steel. That's the part you're gonna regret that. Like, I watched this one lady on YouTube. She's a mechanic. She's really good.
Chicky mechanic. I love her.
Yeah, was that changed?
Yeah, I love her.
She is awesome. So I watch her, and she tore one of those things apart, and you can just see that the build. I think something inside just let go and like cracked a big chunk of the cylinder off or something. I just remember it was pretty bad, and she said that would never happen with a steel.
She taught me how to get over the decompression instead of blowing my arm out trying to start the saw, and just pulling it.
Yep. That
was really a lesson. And when I watch other people who use chainsaws and don't know how to start it,
Well, I mean, even a guy like myself, I'm, a big, strong guy. I've been carving a long time. I've been doing tree work before that. I've been starting saws for, I've been carving for 35 years, so now I've been using saws for, since I was 16 years old, and I still get caught off guard sometimes where, a high compression saw, you'll go to pull it and it'll just snap right out of your finger. It'll just feel like, why did that hurt so much? I don't know, but I That's why they come with a compression button.
Yeah, my new
decompression
one,
button,
my 400 has a compression button, and I'll tell you that it took a long time to break that saw in to get it to just start up.
Sure. So let's talk about who's your dealer close to you.
Echo.
Okay, so it's an Echo dealer. Do they sell other brands there?
Yeah, they sell. It's a power. It's for cutting lawns.
Yeah,
and,
it's a power.
Yeah, exactly. Longhorn, actually.
So what is
Longhorn Power and outdoor tool?
Longhorn Power and outdoor?
Longhorn Power, outdoor power is what it is.
Outdoor
Longhorn
power and tool. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
So do they sell steel?
No, they sell all Echoes.
Just Echoes, no Husky, no nothing else. Okay. So everyone asks what's the best chainsaw. I made a video about it.
Well, the best chainsaw is the one I'm using right now because I don't have any others.
The best chainsaw, they're all pretty equal. I mean, there's some are better than others a little bit here or there, but it's the dealer. It's the guy that takes care of you when you take your saw in. Mm-hmm. That's
so,
what you want.
I think, when is it that you would take your saw in? Because so far I take mine apart, and I'm one of those people that uses a compressor, even a portable one. Mm-hmm. I clean them out every single time I fill them up. Mm-hmm. And so when do I take my saw in?
Well, you'll know because it won't run, or if it is running, it runs like crap, or if you're getting
a clang.
If like there's a clutch issue or something, the chain's gonna spin wildly while it's idling. There's different things, different reasons why I'd take it in. If you have an air leak potentially, and the thing lines up for no apparent reason, and it sounds like it's gonna blow up when you hit the trigger. It's like, yeah, that's one of the things you want to keep an eye on. There's a lot of really handy people out there. I am not one of those people. I have a good mechanic, and I just drop them off.
You just mentioned all the things that has just started happening to my 310, which, I pushed that beyond its real capabilities. I've really been mean to that one.
Been mean to it.
I have been really mean, and I think I need to take it in.
Take it in. If you feel like you need to, then you probably need to, pretty much. So let's get back to you, Dusty.
Dusty Girl.
Dusty Girl Carvings, right? Mm-hmm. Dusty Girl Chainsaw Carving?
No, just Dusty Girl Carvings.
Dusty Girl Carvings, and you're a Texas gal. Mm-hmm. And have you, like, what is your local, like, do you have like a name for yourself out there? Like, are people starting to recognize who you are?
They are starting to recognize it. It really comes from Google, because I did that 5 hours on my website and 30 hours on the SEO, and that paid off.
Oh, cool. You did that yourself?
Yes.
Well, dang, I should have you look at mine.
I'm happy to.
I stopped doing cash and carry a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I just recently started doing it again, and so it's nice to have Facebook. Facebook is where I think most of us do our business.
Oh, I don't get my business from Facebook. I just use that as a diary, a drop and go.
A drop and go. A post and ghost.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's a Joe Rogan thing. Post and ghost.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe.
Good Joe. Yeah, he just says that he posts it and he ghosts it. So that way he doesn't check and see how many people are busting his balls over stuff.
I use social media really to be in a place where I can be around my peers.
Do you have peers out there?
Yeah. No, there was only one chainsaw carver, and she moved. So it's just me.
Oh,
Griffin.
Griffin, sure.
It's just me now.
What, Della? Did she move?
She's in like Galveston.
Oh, so she's a ways away.
Houston, yeah.
So far is that like 3 hours?
Well, from my house about 4.
4 hours. That's a long way.
4.5. Yeah.
So are you the only chainsaw carver around, or just the only female chainsaw?
No, I'm the only chainsaw carver. There isn't anybody else. Not that I know of.
So that's a recipe for success right there.
Well, absolutely.
You're the only game in town.
That's right, and they better watch out.
Let's look. Yeah, so do you ever do bears?
Never done a bear, and we do gators in Texas.
Gators?
There's no bears.
Boy. Really? There's no bears in
There is, but I mean, when you think of Texas, you don't think of bears.
I don't think of gators in
Oh,
Texas.
we had a lot of gators.
Where?
Well,
Like
just
Galveston?
no, like for instance, if you have a lot of farmers had properties that they irrigate and tie into, streams
So
and
where the
rivers,
hell
they
they-
come right in.
Where'd they come from?
I don't know, honestly.
How do they survive winters there?
They hibernate. It's called brumation.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
no. I swear, I didn't know any of this. I didn't know that they even had that kind of animal in Texas. I'm not. I know they had snakes and like wild boars
Crocodiles.
and javelinas and
I don't think we have crocodiles. I think we have
gators.
Yeah,
Gators.
yeah.
That makes me not want to go there ever again.
Well, I definitely would like to learn how to carve a bear.
Okay. Well, let's work on the thing that you want to work on when you get home. So, like, I mean, if you don't get much call for bears.
No, I've never had a call for a bear. Although I did have a call from a lady out of state. She showed me this tree on her. She asked me if I could come up in Oklahoma and carve her a bear. Of course, I said yes.
Did you?
Not yet.
Oh. Just give her.
But I'm like, that's the thing, is I'm fearless. So I
Okay.
like say yes to everything.
Okay. All right. Well, we can work on that too. We can, like when Jennifer was here, we did a lot of sketching, a lot of drawing, and a lot of wrapping your head around certain aspects of carving. And it's important to learn to draw people. There's a lot of people out there who would say, no, I don't draw. I've never drawn anything. And I can carve. And it's like, well, maybe. But it's really hard to sell something that nobody has an idea of what the hell you're talking about. Like say, well, I'm going to do this with an old man here, and then I'm going to put this, and I'm going to put an owl up top, and then they're just like, yeah, but I want to see it. Can you help me connect the dots between what you're talking about and what I'm actually trying to visualize? Because a lot of times they won't be able to visualize it. So to be a good closer, you need to be able to sketch, and it really helps at like when you can sketch well, because that impresses the customer right off the bat. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was a good closer because I could draw well, and I could just sketch something out of the crack of my hiney and just go, here you go, and they'd be like, whoa, that is so cool, you can do that? And I was like, yeah, I can do that.
I know carvers that can only draw stick figures and they still carve well.
Well, I think they can draw better than they put on.
Well,
Yeah, and I don't think you know many carvers.
that's true. You're my second one.
There you go. So, and I draw well. Well, in consideration. So my plan was to try to carve as well as I could draw. And then after that point, then it was, okay, I need to be able to exceed my drawing with my carving. And then, but connecting the dots for a new carver is very difficult. So the drawing part helps with that. That really does, believe it or not. It connects the dots between what you're thinking about and what is actually happening in front of you. Because when you have a saw in your hand, you don't have the spatial awareness.
Right.
It's the spatial awareness. So drawing helps you with that, helps you kind of conquer it. And a lot of times people will draw the silhouette, then they'll draw the top side, then they'll draw the back, just so they can get it, wrap their mind around the thing. And if you don't do that, you don't know what's around the other side of it. And that's, I think I was talking to somebody and was talking about Jeff Samadowski and how he's like I am that way, where I want to know, like, okay, I got the frontal part when I'm doing a bear or whatever, or I got to carve something I've never carved before, but I need to know what it looks like behind it. Like I need to get the back view so I can be accurate as all the way around, or as accurate as I can. So, I think I did a Vince Lombardi carving at one point, and I had to know what he looked like from the back. Like, what did his suit look, or his coat and everything? How was it? How was his collar folded? And what did his hat look like from the back? I just didn't know. So I just went online and started hunting down all the pictures I could of the statue that's at Lambeau Field, and I just put them all together and threw the dice. And it turned out all right. Hey everyone, it's day 5, and we've had a lot of fun. A lot of new discoveries have happened, and we learned to discover oneself on this little journey. And well, some of us learned to discover more than others. And this one here, she's a handful. So I want to just get it straight from the source on what we know so far at this point. We're going to do a full day after this video, a little bit more coming up, but stick around for that. But let's just hear what Dusty Girl has to say.
Holy chainsaws! I'm going to tell you that, I realized I needed to connect some dots, but I just didn't have a real clue on what that connection was.
How far apart the dots
or
were?
how far, yeah, exactly. And I'm learning so much on the fundamentals of carving that it's just blowing up my mind. And it is, it's an incredible experience to all of a sudden have this aha moment. And this is so good for me. I'm really excited.
Good. I mean, yesterday, I just put her on well, you might see it in the video, I don't know. I just put her on to do a task, yeah. And it was a task of creating some stuff on a piece
Like
of wood.
really hard stuff. Not
It was kind of advanced.
Yeah, it made me cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. So there's just little things that in our conversations, because she's very, very dedicated to learning, and she's had a lot of successes coming in until she got here, up to that point. And then, but now it's just like, okay, we need to take things in perspective and do things according to how, whatever you're learning. It's not like she's not a fast learner. There's a separation between what we see and what we feel and what we're trying to do
And what we think we can do.
and what we think we can do. And then there's something gets convoluted and I don't know. It's all smoke and mirrors after that, right?
Yeah, and tears.
Yeah. Shit.
I'm not ashamed.
I know she's not.
It was a place I needed to be.
And you know what? And it's you'll feel. Well, I'm not gonna say that all carvers carve or cry when they come here, but some do. But it's a place of cleansing. Like when you finally reach that, it's sometimes the opposition isn't the carving, it isn't the wood. It's between that hardest. They say the hardest distance to navigate in life isn't the distance between you and that mountain, or once you're on the mountain to the top of the mountain. It's the 4 inches between your ears, and it's one of those things where if you don't know it exists, it will shock you when you find it. It's like it's stumbling through the dark, and then bam, you break a toe.
Yeah. I broke 10.
You broke all of them. Oh, boy. But anyway, we went out for dinner, had some food at the local place, Katie's Pub and Grub.
God, it was amazing.
I know, it's so good. But then we came back. She got to bed early. I got to bed early, and today's a new beginning.
Yeah, I love it.
And so I think stick around for a little bit more, and we're gonna do an owl, and we're gonna try to incorporate all the stuff that she struggled with yesterday in a realistic type owl. And I think the dots are going to get a little bit closer together, and she will have tears of joy instead of broken
Let's
toes.
hope so, damn it.
Broken toes in the nighttime. All right. Oh yeah, one more thing. It has, her tears were not tears because she was an egomaniac and discovered that she couldn't do something. It was more of from a place of frustration than anything else. And it has something to do with her own expectations over her whole life, right? Being, fighting through things and getting there, but we're talking about a short window here. This is like brain surgery, like a brain surgery crash course. And you have to put the dots together, and sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, and she, I think, got frustrated and forgot a couple of little steps, and that's all it takes. It's like the electrician thing. There are old electricians and there are bold electricians, but there are no old, bold electricians. You have to do the steps in the beginning at, baby steps. Don't forget the back cut. You want shadow, you want the light, so you need to highlight, and you need to get behind whatever it is that you're carving in the flats to bring that shadow out so that everything else in front of it can stand out. And that was just one of those things. She skipped. She kept shaking her head. I hate it. I hate it. I was like, well, let me show you just a little thing. I just put that little cut back there, and I think she started to see it, and then the tears subsided, and today is a new day. So, yeah, so I'm just going to leave it right there. Yeah, so that's one of the things that we're going to be working on today is just, trying to close the distance between what you want to do and how it's done.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. So did you have any preconceived thoughts on what we would be doing or how we would be doing it?
No, I actually after having a couple conversations with you, I decided to just relinquish any.
Yeah.
I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, number one.
Right.
And number two, if I have just a clear mind about it and take whatever you're going to give me or show me, I think it works better. Yeah, it does. I mean, because people have they're wrong-minded when they come here because they think it's going to go a certain way, and we end up doing other things that are much more important, and it has to happen in succession. So you can't start up in the shop and then work your way. So you don't put a saw in somebody's hand and say, just do something for me. I just want to do. Well, I want a visual. Yes, eventually we'll get to that point. Like I will, and then I'll videotape you so you can see the difference between the before and after. So you can see how you're holding the saw at home, and then how I'm going to ask you to hold the saw, and how I'm going to ask you to position your body specifically in different positions for more stability and less fatigue. So other than that, and then light and shadow and all the different textures you're going to learn, and it's going to be cool. Well, I'm excited that you are my mentor. Oh, well, you're welcome. You didn't say thank you though. I just said you said you're excited. Oh, I thought I did with that. I should say Austin. Yeah, I think you said I should just say curb your enthusiasm. I'm really, that's the thing is I am a very enthusiastic, passionate person about things that I'm doing, and I'm keeping it under wraps just for you. Awesome, great. So that's wonderful. Well, we'll see how things go. We'll after this little thing we're doing, we'll start a little sketch and just see where we go. Right, y'all send me positive vibes, love, and light to help me get through these 6 days. And counting. We're counting them down. All the stuff that we didn't learn, all the stuff that we should have learned. Oh, the do's and don'ts.
Shoulda, woulda, couldas.
I know, and it's master from here on out.
That's right. All right, everyone, stick around. So this is the final day. This is about 1, 2, 3.
5.5 days, really.
In about 3 or 4 hours, I got to take her back to the airport, and we're just sitting here soaking in the experience and trying to make sense of it all. And of course, there's always endless questions. Because there's anytime a subject is breached, then we need to kind of, oh yeah, I forgot, I meant to ask you about this, or I'll say, oh yeah, we still have to talk about stumps and, how to make the base of the carving another part of the equation that is more like a character than just a base that's something sitting.
And cohesive.
Yeah, with flow and character. But we're probably going to continue talking about this stuff all the way to the airport, I'm sure.
Yes.
I mean, we had a pretty good breakthrough day yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal for me.
So why don't you tell these couple people that are watching the...
So, there is such an important connection between learning different textures and techniques with the tip of your bar. It's like I had no clue just how important that was, and I got to a point where I struggled initially, and then there was just that one move that didn't feel so easy when I was practicing, but then when I got into the actual using it in a carving, it was like bing, the lights went on, and it's one technique, just one that I know will elevate all of my carvings, and it is so encouraging to get it, I was really excited about it. I wanted to do more, longer, go harder.
Yeah. Yeah, so all this is all baby steps, and
yeah,
you'll be able to do as much as you want when you get home for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, I want to be the person who goes home and can translate,
Sure.
can do what you showed me and have it come out in my work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at home going, okay,
Can't remember.
I need him to hold my hand. It's like I believe I will be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, because you don't have the tools yet that I have here. That's the only big thing.
Oh yeah, you mean like
the little bitty, the little bitty chainsaws.
Yeah, I don't have a 6 incher.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
Samurai Legend stuff. That is where, I think you'll still be able to do some of that with the dime tip with a gas saw, but it's not the same. It's
Yeah.
just you don't get the.
Well, yeah, that's definitely something that I recognize. Think that, the winter time is a fabulous time to get into electric chainsaws, because just because it's winter doesn't mean you don't want to carve, So I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get them before winter, but
Well,
I started battery saws simply because I had an indoor shop now, and I obviously don't want to gas myself out.
Right.
So I just started buying battery saws, and I use them even. I'll take them on on-site jobs, because when I get down to the detail, that's how I do the detail.
mhm.
That's the only tool I use. I can't get her done with dime tips and gas saws, because I'm so used to those, and they make a kind of a, they make an impact the way I want it to be. Overbarred and underbarred is not such a good thing. Yeah. If it's overbarred, then it's going to lag and be slow and be, you're not going to have the performance. And if it's underbarred, you'll chew the bar up.
It's a good thing I took a lot of video, because the amount of information, I mean, I am a sponge, but it's like, I will remember, I won't remember everything. So I'll be able to go back and look, listen, and But I tell you, I feel tremendously encouraged.
Good.
You're a great teacher.
Thank you. I think people that receive would be more likely to say that than somebody that just was expecting a whole different, ball game, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So today this is the end of the road, as they say. So we've reached the end of the road. We're going to discuss a little bit about her takeaway from carving the owl. I should straighten that out. She has. Well, fuck. Hang on a second. All right.
So when we got to the owl, you carving the owl.
Yeah.
I have this thing for owls, and so it was kind of like we kind of put that all together. And watching you carve an owl, I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh, sure.
Never. And it just went from, everything I've learned on the internet was about blocking. I had this, that is one thing that I had thought was I need to learn blocking. And his style is bird dogging. And it just blew me away that he brought life to this owl with minimal movement, hardly any sawdust, and
I was putting it in my pockets.
yeah, it was really just wow. And then it just came to life so easily. And one of the techniques that he taught me in the ninja board, I got to do that. And it sunk. And when I saw him do it on the owl, it was like so magical. I mean,
there's a light bulb moment
it was so magical.
It's you sit there. It's a wax on, wax off. Anybody who's old enough knows what the Karate Kid is.
Yeah, right.
And he's like wax on, wax off. But then when you actually carve something, and you can add, now you have this little Rolodex of different types of manipulation you can do with different little movements. Once you say an owl is the perfect subject matter. Birds to me are really interesting because I guess it depends on who's carving it, but I like to do them soft and smooth and subtle and kind of random instead of like a cornrow technique.
Well, really, your style, your technique that you were using was deciding as you were carving what texture you wanted it to be at that particular place.
And guess what? If I didn't like it, I took that sander and just mellowed it out and then restarted.
Yeah,
Just,
and everything that I had been doing was these very deliberate. This is the direction of your saw, and you're going to make 3, 4, 5 cuts, and then you're going to... Yeah, and it was like, God, so much more labor intensive.
And it's for keeps.
Oh, that's no lie.
Where I'm dealing with the surface. I'm dealing with the surface, and I'm dealing with the form. I'm not so much dealing with big chunky shadows.
Yes,
I mean,
and it was just very like, wow.
Do you remember when I said that most carvers wait too long to put their saw down?
Yeah.
And pick up something, because it could technically, it helps me to put my saw down. Like, I'll get us to a certain point. I'll put my saw down and I'll manipulate the light and set the mood for the carving and get the shadows in. And then I'll go, okay, now I see who I'm carving, not just what I'm carving.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. I have to reconfigure my lighting.
Get it, who? It's an owl.
Yeah, who?
I'm carving. Athena is the carving's name.
Yes, it is.
Or Athena.
Right.
So we got the eyes in and everything, and now it sets a tone. I'm committing to the end result. I'm not committing to a particular cut, or I'm not getting hung up on a specific idea. I can always. There's always room. I always say that there's always room. You just have to just understand the form a little bit, and that's where drawing comes in. So.
Right. I got just a better understanding.
Yeah, and I think some of the lessons that were learned on your part, it's not so much this and holding your mouth right. It's what's between here that stops you from really succeeding, and you got to get all the clutter out of the way, and all the nonsense has to be gone, so you can just start from scratch and just.
That happened to me when I hit the wall. Yeah. It was rough. It was so rough for me, and I'm like, I'm not a crybaby. I'm not that person. But boy, oh boy, it just frustrated me so much. But once I got past that, it was like being able to be in there watching you carve an owl that I wasn't gonna have any physical part in, other than being your saw back.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, I would not have been able to actually receive all of the important parts of what you had been teaching me.
Right.
I would not, because I'd be that person going, well, when am I going to get to carve?
Right.
When am I going to
I want to carve. Let me
do that. Aren't I going to carve? But it wasn't that at all, and I didn't feel it.
Right. So the other thing, you know, I I think a couple of my other students, when they were here as they were interns, kind of here for like months, and they witnessed a bunch of other students come through while they were working at my place, and I think one of them said that I create more carvers than carving. I approach students, male or female, doesn't matter, the same way I approach my carvings, and that is to just come in with kid gloves and just slowly peel away things and manipulate the light and the shadow to get the best, you know, to reveal something without all of this force and pressure, and just, you know, you just kind of coax it out of them.
So what I have to say is, if you have this intense desire and passion, if you have this intense passion to learn how to carve with a chainsaw, then this is a place to come. But you definitely come with an open mind, because if you do, you're going to leave and feel so rewarded in the end. And 5 stars.
Okay, everybody, that's going to be the end of the road. And this is where we roll up the sidewalks and turn out the lights, close the shutters, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Sharing is caring, and smash that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one.
So long and happy trails. Get along, little doggy. Let's get back to Texas. Yeehaw!